Hello everyone. Today we will be discussing about factors and multiples, which is the chapter 2 in class 6 mathematics. So let's start the class. First of all, we should know what are factors and multiples. If two or more numbers are multiplied together to get a product, then each of the numbers is called a factor of that product. So let us understand this with an example given below. Here we have two numbers 5 and 7. When we are multiplying these two numbers, the product of these two numbers is 35, right? So we can say that 5 and 7 are the factors of the product 35. Similarly, let us see the second example given below. 3 into 4 into 6 is equals to 72. That means number 3, comma 4 and 6. These are also the factors of 72. Next, we have multiples. What is multiples? The product of two or more numbers is called a multiple of each of the numbers. What does it mean? Okay, see the example here. Again, we have two numbers here, 5 and 7, and the product of these two numbers is 35. So here 35 is a multiple of 5 as well as 7. Next, see the another example. 2 cross 3 is equals to 6. So 6 is also a multiple of 2 and 3. So this is the meaning of multiples. There are some characteristics of multiples, like every number is a multiple of itself, because when you multiply a number with 1, so it will be equals to the number itself. Next, every number has a countless number of multiples. What is the reason? Because every number can be multiplied by countless natural numbers. Like if you see the multiples of 2, so they are 2 into 1, 2 into 2, and up to so on. Next, we move on to the classification of numbers. How can we classify the numbers? So numbers are classified as even numbers, odd number, prime number, co-prime number, and composite number, perfect number. So let us see one by one. What is even number? A number is called even number if it is a multiple of 2. So this we have to remember when we talk about the even number. Examples are like 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8. So these are all the 5 even digits. Next is odd number. When can we say that a number is odd number? If it is not a multiple of 2. Example 1 comma 3 comma 5 comma 7 comma 9. So these are the 5 odd digits number. Next we have the prime number. What is a prime number? A natural number other than 1 is called a prime number if it does not have a factor other than 1 and the number itself. Example, here we have 2 comma 3 comma 5 comma 7 comma 11 comma 13 comma 17 and 19. So these are the examples of a prime number. And we can say that 2 is the only even prime number here. Next we have the co-prime numbers. What are co-prime? If two natural numbers are called co-prime if they do not have a common factor other than 1. So example is 4 comma 9. Next is 5 and 1, 5 and 11. Next is 3 and 8. So these numbers, these two numbers are called as co-prime numbers because they don't have a common factor other than 1. Next we have the composite number. A natural number is called a composite number if it has at least one factor other than 1 and the number itself. So example is 4 comma 6 comma 8 comma 9 comma 10 and up to so on. Here we need to remember one thing. All even numbers other than 2 are composite numbers. One is neither a prime number nor a composite number. Next, we have the perfect number. When can we say that a number is a perfect number? If the sum of all its factors except itself is equal to the number. Let's see the example. For 6, the number is 6 here. The factors are 1 comma 2 comma 3. So except 6 we have other numbers, right? So when we add these factors, that means when we add 1 plus 2 plus 3, the sum of these number is equals to 6. So we can say that 6 is a perfect number. Likewise, we can take one more example. 28 is also known as a perfect number because when you take the factor of 28, you will get 1 comma 2 comma 4 comma 7 comma 14, and when you add these factors you will get 28. So we can say that 28 is also a perfect number. Likewise, there are many more examples. So this is the exercise 2a of this chapter, which is completely based on the topic which we have discussed. Now you can go through this. Next, we have the rules for test of divisibility. So there are different rules for finding the divisibility. So let's see them one by one. The first rule is divisibility by 2. So what is the rule for this? A number is divisible by 2 if its ones digit is 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8. If in the ones place the number are 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8, then we can say that the given number is divisible by 2. See the example here. Here the numbers are like 10, 22, 54, 116 and so on. So in all these numbers, the one digit is either 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8. So which is divisible by 2. But you see the second example here, the numbers are 21, 43, 165, 847 and on. So here the ones digits are not 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8. Rather they are 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. So we say that these numbers are not divisible by 2. Next rule or next divisibility is by number 3. So how can we say that a number is divisible by 3 or not? If the sum of the digits of the number is divisible by 3. So let us see the example here. The number is, for example, 2565. This is the number. So we need to find whether this number is divisible by 3 or not. So first find the sum of these digits, whatever is given here. So add the numbers 2 plus 5 plus 6 plus 5. So the result is 18. And 18 is divisible by 3 because 18 can be divided easily by 3. So this number 2565 is divisible by 3. So this is how we can find the divisibility by number 3. Next, we have the divisibility by number 4. So here we can say that if the number formed by its last two digits is divisible by 4, here we need to concentrate at this point that the number formed by its last two digits should be divisible by 4. So see the example here. Consider the number given 37964. Here the last two digits is 64. So which is divisible by 4. So we say that the number given here is divisible by 4. Okay. Next we have the divisibility by 5. So this is quite easy because any number that ends in either 0 or 5 is divisible by 5. So examples are 70, 135, 5795. So in all these numbers, if you see, they either ends with 0 or with 5. So we can say that they are divisible by 5. Next, we have the divisibility by 6. A number can be divisible by 6 if it is divisible by 2 and 3 both. Not 2 or 3. 2 and 3 both. So see the number here. It's 132. So we need to find whether 132 is divisible by 6 or not. So here see the ones digit is 2. So it is divisible by 2. Next one is how to find whether it is divisible by 3 or not. So we have to find the sum of these digits, 1 plus 3 plus 2. So it is 6. So 6 is also divisible by 3. So when this 132 is divisible by 2 and 3, then only we can say that the number is divisible by 6. Okay. Next we have the test of divisibility by 7. So here, when can we say that a number is divisible by 7? If the difference between twice the ones digit and the number formed by the other digits is divisible by 7. So here the number, if you take, it is 294. If 29 minus 4 into 2, the result is 21. So if this 21 is divisible by 7, so we can say that easily it is divisible by 7, the number. Next we have the number is divisible by 8 if the number formed by its last 3 digits is divisible by 8. So here see the example. We have a number 7528. So you have to concentrate on the last 3 digits, that is 528. So 528 is divisible by 8. Next is divisibility by 9. A number is divisible by 9 if the sum of its digits is divisible by 9. It's very simple. See the example here. This is the number 370314, and when you add these number, the sum of this number is equals to 18, and the sum is 18, which is easily divisible by 9. So we can say that the number is divisible by 9. Next, test of divisibility by 10. A number is divisible by 10 if its one digit is 0. So see the numbers here, 10, 750 and on. So here the ones digit is 0. So easily they are divisible by 10. Next, the last one is the test of divisibility by 11. So here you see, when can we say that a number is divisible by 11? If the difference of the sum of its digits in the odd places and the sum of its digits in even places is either 0 or divisible by 11. So let us see the example here. Consider the number to be 79453. So what we have to do first of all, from this number find out which are in the odd places and the numbers which are in even places. So let's see the odd places number. Odd places number are like 3, 4 and 7. So add these odd numbers. So their sum is 14. Similarly, find out the even numbers. Even numbers are like 5 and 9. So take the sum of these even numbers, that is 14. Now after finding the odd and even places, find the difference of their sum which are in odd places and in even places. So their sum is 14 minus 14, which is equals to 0. So if it is 0, or if it is either 0 or if it is divisible by 11, so we can say that the number which is given is divisible by 11. So here the result is 0. So we can say that the given number 79453 is divisible by 11. So these are some properties of divisibility. Property 1 is, if a number is divisible by another number, it is divisible by each of the factors of that number. So see the example here. Suppose a number is 24, which is divisible by 12. So what are the factors of 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12. So all the factors 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 12 divide 24. Okay. Next property is, if the number is divisible by two co-prime numbers, then it is divisible by their product also. So example is, the number 60 is divisible by 4 and 5. So we say that 4 and 5 are co-primes. Okay. Next property is, if two given numbers are divisible by a number, their sum is also divisible by that number. So here the numbers are like 24 and 32. They are divisible by 4. So their sum, if you see, 24 plus 32 is 56. So 56 is also divisible by 4. Next property is, if two given numbers are divisible by a number, then their difference is also divisible by that number. So two numbers, if you see here, is 24 and 9, which are divisible by 3. If you take the difference of these two numbers, we are getting 15. So 15 is also divisible by 3. Okay. Next, based on the above discussion, above test of divisibility, this is the exercise 2B. Next topic is factorization and prime factorization. So let's see what are factorization and prime factorization. First of all, let us understand what is the meaning of factorization. Writing a number as the product of two or more numbers is called the factorization. So what is the example of this? See here, the number is 120. So for 120, if you find the factors you will get 4, 6, 5, right? So this is the factorization of 120. But this is not known as prime factorization. What is prime factorization? When a number is written as a product of prime numbers only, then that process is known as the prime factorization. So see the example here. Here the number is given as 162. We need to find the prime number of this as a product of the prime numbers. So there are two methods given here. Let us see one by one. The first one is, here find the factor. That means 2 into 81, right? Because 162 is a even number and 2 is the factor. So that's why we have multiplied it with 2. Next, we have the number 81. So 81 means sum of digits. Add these two numbers, what you will get? You will get 8 plus 1, 9. So 9 is divisible by 3. So you can write it here, 2 cross 3 into 27. Similarly, for 27, again you have to find the factors. That is 3 into 9. Again for 9, you have to find the factor. You will get 3 into 3. So finally, the factors for 162 is 2 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 3. So this is how we can find the prime numbers of any number given below. Okay. Next, this is the exercise based on the topic discussed. Next, we have the highest common factor, that is also known as HCF. I think this you people might have learned in class 5th also. So let us understand in detail about this. What is highest common factor? So the HCF of two or more numbers is the largest number which divides each of the numbers. So the HCF of some numbers is sometimes also known as the GCD. So you don't have to get confused what is GCD or what is HCF. Okay, so the full form of GCD is greatest common divisor. So there are two methods to find the HCF. The first one is by the method of prime factorization. So what is a step to find the HCF by using prime factorization method? The first step is you have to express each number as the product of prime number. Next, you have to find the factors common to all the numbers. And after finding that, you have to multiply the common factors and you will get the product. Whatever product you will get, that will be your required HCF. So let us see this with an example. You can understand it more clearly. So here we have the example. We have to find here the HCF of the number 216, 315 and 180. Okay. So by using prime factorization, we will first find their factors one by one. So for the number 216, we have, see, in ones digit we have 6. So according to the test of divisibility, this is divisible by 2. So that's why 2 is written here. So 2 into 108. Next, again you see here in 108, the ones digit is again 8. So which is again divisible by 2. So you got 54. Again in 54, the ones digit is 4, which is again divisible by 2. So you got 27. And when you add this 27, the sum of 2, 7 is 9. So 9 is divisible by 3. So again, 9, if you see, 9 is divisible by 3 again. So finally, the factor for the number 216 is 2 into 2 into 2 into 3 into 3 into 3. Similarly, you have to find the factors for the number 315 and 180. So the factors are like this: 3 cross 3 cross 5 cross 7. And for the number 180, the factors are 2 cross 2 cross 3 cross 3 into 5 by similar method. So after finding the factors of all the three numbers given in the question, what you have to do, what is the next step? The next step is you have to find the common factors in these three numbers. So what are the common factors, common numbers here? That is 3 and 3. If you see here, here also we have 3, here also we have 3, and here also we have 3. So the HCF will be the product of the common factors. So the common factors are 3 into 3. So the product is 9. So the HCF for this number is 9. Here one note is given. The HCF of co-prime numbers is 1 since they have no other factor in common. Okay. So this is how we need to find the HCF by the method of prime factorization. Next, we have another method to find the HCF, that is known as the division method. So first of all, let us see the steps how to find the HCF by division method. The first step is you have to divide the bigger number by the smaller number. That is the first step. The second step is if the division leaves no remainder, then the smaller number is the HCF. But if there is a remainder, you have to take this as the new divisor and take the previous divisor as the new dividend. Next, third step is you have to continue to, that means continue second step until there is no remainder. And the last divisor is the required HCF. So let us see this with an example more clearly. Here the numbers are 240 and 336. So here we need to find the HCF of these two numbers by the division method. So let's see this. First of all, find out among these two numbers which is the bigger one. Okay. So 336 is the bigger one and 241 is the less, obviously. So here we take 240 as the divisor and 336 as the dividend. So see here, step 1 we have done. So 241 are 240. So the difference is 96. So this difference, I mean the remainder of this will be the dividend for the second one. So again take this 96 divided by 240. So 2 times 192 you will get. So the difference is 48. Again, this remainder will be a dividend of this 96. So finally you will get no remainder, that means 0 remainder. So this last divisor is your required HCF. So the last divisor here is 48. So 48 is the HCF of these two numbers. So this is how you can find the HCF of more than two numbers. Hope this is clear. Next, based on this prime factorization and division method, this is the exercise 2D given. These are the exercise questions. Next, we have LCM, that is lowest common multiple. So what is the LCM? The LCM of two or more numbers is the smallest number which can be divided by each of the number which leaving the remainder. So again, for finding the LCM, there are two methods. The first one is by prime factorization. So here also some steps are there to find the LCM by using the prime factorization. The first one is express each number as a product of prime numbers. Next, take each prime factor as many times as the highest number of times it appears in the prime factorization of any of the numbers. Last step is the product of prime factors selected in step 2 will be the LCM of the numbers. So again, let us understand this with the example. Here is the example. Here we have to find the LCM of number 36 and 48. So by using prime factorization, we need to find the LCM. Methods are very important. If in the question they did not specify by which method you have to find the LCM, so you can go with any method you like, whether it is a prime factorization or division method. But if in the question they specify to find the LCM of the number either by prime factorization or by division method, so you have to follow that. Okay, so see here, first of all we see the number 36. So here in ones digit it is 6, which is divisible by 2. So with that same method we have to find the factors. And in the second number, that is 48, again the one digit is 8, which is divisible by 2. So these are the factors. So now see here, we have to find the common factors in these two numbers. What are the common factors? The 2 appears twice in the factorization of 36 and 4 times it is appearing in number 48. So you have to select 2 4 times. Okay. And 3 appears twice in the factorization of 36 and only once in the 48. So you have to take 3 only 2 times. So the LCM will be 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 3 into 3. So the product of this is 144. So 144 is the LCM of the given number 36 and 48. So this is by prime factorization method. Okay. Next, we have LCM by division method. So the first step is you have to divide the numbers by a number which is a factor of at least 2 of the numbers. So write the dividends and carry forward the numbers which are not divisible. Repeat the step 1 and 2 till no 2 of the numbers has a common factor. And last, the product of the divisors of all the steps and the remaining numbers is the LCM of the numbers. So let us see this with an example. Yes, here we have an example to find the LCM by division method. So the numbers are 40, 144 and 180. So here we have to find the LCM. So I think this is a very common method which we people are learning in lower grades also. Simple LCM you have to take. All the numbers you write together and start finding the LCM. So this is how you have to find. Here you see in this step 2 is a common factor of 10 and 36. Next in another step 45 will be carried forward because 45 is not divisible by 2. So the number which is not divisible by 2 will be carried forward. Okay. Next here in this step 3 is a common factor of 18 and 45. So here 5 will be carried forward. In the next step 5, 6, 15, if you see 3 is common factor of the number 6 and 15. So again this number 5 will be carried forward and here we will get 2 and 5 which are the factors of this two numbers 6 and 15. Now here again 5 will be carried forward because 5 is a common factor of 5 and 5. Finally you will get 2. Okay, so here no common factors are there, so this is the final result. So see what is the LCM you got. 2 into 2 into 2 into 3 into 3 into 5 into 2. This number also you have to multiply. So the result is 720. So the LCM of numbers 40, 144 and 180 is 720. So this is how you have to find the LCM of any given number by using division method. So this is the exercise based on the topics which we have discussed, LCM and HCF. So you can go through this. So thank you very much. So this was all for the second chapter. So go through all the topics once again, what we have discussed. Let us revise so that it will be clear whatever points we have discussed. So we discussed about factors and multiples, right? Next, the classification of numbers, even number, odd number, what are prime numbers, co-prime numbers, composite number, perfect numbers, along with their examples. So this is the exercise based on that. Next, different rules of divisibility we have discussed. This you can go through. These are the properties of divisibility. Exercise based on this divisibility test. Next, we discussed about the factorization and prime factorization. Factorization means the number as the product of two or more numbers. So this is the example we have discussed. Prime factorization, when you write a number as a product of prime numbers only, so that is prime factorization. So this is the exercise based on that. Next, HCF we discussed, highest common factor, which is also known as the greatest common divisor. So two methods we discussed, prime factorization and division method to find the HCF. Similarly, we discussed the LCM by two methods, that is the lowest common multiple. Prime factorization, this is the method to find the LCM, and by division method, this is the example. So this is all for today. Thank you all of you.